Hello everybody, welcome back to the Nemesis Gaming League where the grind continues, playoffs continue, and the Game 7s continue, and almost a huge upset last time. I mean, we had a huge upset 2 games ago, almost Blizzard pulled it out, but now we have a potential another upset alert. I don't know. This is our interesting Chally matchup here, as we've got the Gryphons versus the Bishops here. Joining the booth is with me is Ventus. Ventus, how we doing, man? We're getting into game number 1, so make it real quick.
Super excited to be here. Unfortunately, had to see my brother getting eliminated. Got to see the matchup that I will be playing in, or hopefully, obviously, I haven't played my matchup that, but we hope that we will be able to play the Nebula that just came out on top of Blizzard. So, but I'm super excited to be here. Think this one's gonna be an interesting matchup. I think this one's a little bit more lopsided, I think, than the first two. I think that, in my opinion, Gryphons are a very good team. I'm not so sure about Bishops. I saw them play in the play-ins, wasn't super impressed, and now they're coming out, and I think that the Gryphons are probably going to be pretty dominant in this series. I'll say game 5, but I think the 2 seed here definitely gonna pull it out. It'll take a miracle for the upset to come through.
Oh, I've seen many miracles happen in my day. Might just have to be one of them. Mealey, though, making sure that doesn't happen easily. A huge 50 there, but Chef, the Chef, is going to be on top of that one. As Grambo is going to lead that one for J-Rod. J-Rod, usual rival league player in the Chally League, and the 2 seed, a large part because of him. And he gets a huge 50 right there. No way he gets the beat on that one. It's rolling in front of the net, but Tricky is going to have the touch. Mealey not able to get there. Grambo looking for the 50, but he gets absolutely dunked there. J-Rod with 1 touch, looking for a follow-up. Gets 50'd out by DMX, and now it looks like Tricky and these Bishops trying to put on a lot of pressure here. A nice touch there, getting a beat on J-Rod again. And already more pressure here for the Bishops. A double commit here. Grambo racing back to that one. J-Rod got a nice touch. Grambo with a good 50. J-Rod up in the air. The counterattack is on. J-Rod bangs that ball up towards the ceiling. Chef on the backward waiting for it. A huge shot from Mealey. That one rings off the crossbar. And Chef now 1 more touch. And that one is sent to his corner. Tricky almost got dunked there, but it's going to be J-Rod following up that touch. Grambo looking for 1. Trying to get the 50, but not going to go in favor of the Gryphons. Now, it seems like the Gryphons kind of had a nice little, a couple opportunities there so far, Ventus, but this Bishop team, so far, a lot of offense, and I'm seeing a lot of individual plays. They feel like they have a good amount of mechanical skill. Let's see if they can, put that to use here and start getting some goals on the board.
Yeah, I think that the Bishops have played very well for the first half. I almost just cast a curse. I thought that was going to go in. I think that the Bishops overall have been kind of playing up to them. They've been great on offense. You see a great pass there from DMX to Tricky. I mean, a great play, good beats in the transition, a good counterattack. And the Bishops have been very good. We saw a lot of chances on offense, but just kind of cut out. The Gryphons were able to have somebody in the midfield just cut out the passing plays, cut off the passes from the backboard. And, it was really close opportunities, and the Bishops have finally gotten one to fall through. I think that, this is as good a time as ever. I think that getting out early and ahead as Chef is going to do so perfectly. Is maybe some bump attempts coming through, maybe a little bit of a mistouch there by J-Rod, and Chef gonna put that one home, put that in the bottom left of the net. Bishops are gonna take a 2-0 lead, and I mean, taking game number 1 is always crucial. It's not necessarily as crucial in a best of 7, but you always want to start off on the right foot. You always want to get that momentum, and against the 2 seed, who was a dark horse last season with J-Rod and Mealey. They replaced Kiwi with Grambo, which I think is an upgrade. And you saw the results. They became the 2 seed. So Bishop's going to have to continue to play very excellent and force these double commits, which they've done so far.
Grambo with a nice touch there, looking to fall that one to J-Rod, but Tricky with the save coming down from the back wall there. A good touch sent over towards the Gryphons corner. J-Rod taking control. Tricky going to be there. Gets beat, but the Chef right behind him, and the Chef off the ceiling. Gets 50'd out, and that ball bouncing back mid. DMX able to get the touch. Mealey now Getting a nice pop, trying to get a beat on one more. A huge demo from J-Rod. The chef last man back. Huge 50 from Mealey. He can't get it on target. The pass can't come through. That ball put a little too high. J-Rod with one touch. Grambo not gonna get the follow. Tricky already up though, able to get the dunk. J-Rod with one nice touch, but the chef banging that ball all the way towards the Gryphons corner. Looking for one more goal. That one rings off the post. DMX trying to put that one away. Grambo able to make the save. Keeping this game alive here for the Gryphons. Still not a whole lot of time remaining. Only 40 seconds remaining here. J-Rod put that one up to Grambo, but no follow-up from that pass. Mealey with a nice touch in the midfield, and it feels like the Gryphons are trying to make some plays happen, but so far, no cigar. Nothing really sticking. A great touch there from Mealey could be an opportunity. A whiff coming out from Chicky. J-Rod just has to put that one on target. Def making the save. J-Rod not able to put the one follow-up away, and it feels like nothing is going in here for the Gryphons. And one of those falls, Vintage, this is a different ball game, but with 10 seconds remaining, it just is too little too late, pretty much here. And now it kind of feels like, you know, one of those fall. This is a different game, but the Bishops, man, they came out strong, they came out hard, they came out hot, they came out fast, and it was a really solid performance here from the Bishops. Gryphons maybe caught off guard a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where you sucker punch them in the mouth at the beginning of the fight. You kind of catch them off guard. You throw a right hook, you know. You get them to back up a couple steps, and they have to reset. And that's exactly what Bishops did there. They were able to take a game. They were able to play phenomenal defense at the very end of the game. I mean, even though the shot totals were in favor of the Gryphons, the stat line, the goal line is what matters. Bishops were able to convert to their goals, and they did it a lot in transition. You know, they were very threatening when they were able to beat out that third man or second man from the Gryphons. Force a 2v1, force a 1v1 situation, and kind of utilize their speed in that aspect where they're able to catch them off guard. And, I mean, Gryphons seem to be a little panicked. I don't know if that's like jitters first game, you got to reset. But we saw a lot of double commits, especially on the defensive side of the ball. They weren't really in sync, and I think that's really what allowed the Bishops to kind of take advantage of them here in game number 1.
Bishops now looking to replicate that kind of offense where they got outshot, but it felt like the Bishops had more threatening opportunities than the Gryphons did. I will say, though, I think they had 4 epic saves on the side of Bishops. That defense might not be sustainable, but a good offense is, and that is a great opportunity. No touch from J-Rod, but Mealey barely able to get it past one, but Tricky does not care. It is getting kind of crazy here. Tricky now with a huge touch, but the follow-up was just so good with on that shot.
Yeah, and I mean, it all stemmed from the double commit. Grambo and J-Rod both kind of trying to get a touch while rotating back. Grambo ends up touching it awkwardly to their back corner, allowing that to kind of pop back out. This might be another goal as Chef's going to put it around the last defender. Another rough kickoff there for the Gryphons. Bishops are going to take a 2-0 lead once again. The 50 just goes right through Grambo. Doesn't cheat correctly. He cheats upfield, has to turn back to net, isn't able to cover it. And it just seems like the Gryphons are really just not on the same page. I talked about the double commit a little bit earlier that led to the goal. Their defense is playing a little bit sloppy. You saw a hard cheat paired with an aggressive turn from the corner boost. So overall, I just think that Gryphons are not really in it yet. And I think it might be somewhat to do with the Bishops. They already had gotten a lot of momentum from being able to win their play-in match, but as I say that, a good beat there and a pass around that last defender is going to allow Gryphons to get a goal. Maybe this is the start of their momentum, but Bishops have gotten that momentum or had it already when they're able to win their play-in match and secure themselves the 7th seed in the playoffs. So they've already been playing together more in a high-stakes match. I think they might just be a little bit more ready early on, and the Gryphons are going to just be a little bit of a slow starter.
Yeah, and that is absolutely not what you want to see if you are playing against a team that likes to get hot, like this Bishops team, as they're going to get a nice goal there. A huge 50 here from DMX. I think he wanted the reset. I don't think he got the reset, but he at least got a massive 50, and the chef is just there waiting for it. And am I crazy, Ventus, or is this Bishops team I feel like this is more mechanical than what we saw in the play-in. I don't know if they're getting more time on the ball, but I feel like they're just being able to do so much more on the ball right now.
Yeah, check their PC. No, check the ball chasing. Make sure that DMX is actually the player. Unfortunate touch there, leaves it directly for J-Rod. J-Rod puts it in the back of the net. Almost a save there coming out from Tricky, but unfortunately not going to be enough. It looked like Chef might have been able to get a touch on that ball and keep that one out, but a double commit for the first time really for the Bishops on defense allows Gryphons to get a goal and put them back within striking distance, put them back within one. And it seems like even though Bishops have been honestly looking like the better team this game, that it might be all for naught if the Gryphons are able to come back and regain that momentum that they had started to get.
Chef trying to continue that momentum here, and Chef looking for the bump, but Mealey was able to get the fake around him. J-Rod not able to get the touch, trying to get the pop over to Grambo. Grambo able to get the touch towards the sidewall. Tricky on the sidewall, bounces that ball straight back mid. Chef going to be the one to collect it. Since that one off the sidewall, looking for the sidewall. Reed not able to as DMX gets the clear off of J-Rod's touch. Mealey looking for that one, but DMX put that ball mid. Mealey now looking for the follow-up. That one's off the backboard. Mealey, don't do it to him! That ball off the backboard again! The shot not coming through. J-Rod put it away! There it is, the game tire for the Gryphons, and they are back in action.
Yeah, and they're getting a little hot now. We saw Mealey almost hitting that double tap. Would have been crazy. Just goes off the crossbar. Grambo trying to get the dunk and potential shot. Just trying to play the block. Keeping it in the midfield with low boost. Does great. Keeps it in the midfield for J-Rod. J-Rod's there for the cleanup. And, I mean, that's kind of how this Gryphon squad has operated. They've been able to get multiple beats in a row in the midfield. Kind of turn that into a lot of pressure. And, wasting the resources of the Bishops. Just kind of forcing them out, drawing their opponents out, and then putting a good shot on net that we saw from J-Rod. And, I mean, that's kind of been the Gryphons' bread and butter. I feel like I've seen that constantly with this team, how they operate, and it just kind of beat out Bishops. This is where we're going to start to see really who wants it more, who has the grit, because Bishops have played a lot better in the beginning of this game, but now it seems like Gryphons are on the ball, they're on the prowl, and it doesn't look like they can be stopped unless your name is DMX Matt and maybe Solo plays it'll pass all three of them.
He is kind of being that guy right now, and that one is going to be a great touch as Matt not able to make the 50 there, but J-Rod able to make the double. That one off target. Mealey, can he put it away? Not with Grambo there. Grambo making the save, and that one would have been the lead. Instead, it's going to be a tied ball game still. Chef, no boost, gets dunked out by J-Rod. Matt now on the ball, trying to get a pop-up and trying to get one more touch here. Gets a nice one, but he also gets the 50 on Mealey. Couldn't get the follow on J-Rod, who is that one towards the ceiling, off the ceiling, but Chef able to get that read. Tricky gonna be there, trying to follow Mealey's pinch. J-Rod trying to cut this one in. Matt had that one red, but that ball still falls to the midfield where the Gryphons are waiting. A nice pass from Tricky. Matt did not have the shot, hits that one high off the backboard. That ball falling straight down beautifully for the Gryphons, but it's gonna be Mealey taking control. Gets one touch, gets a nice touch over a second. Tricky towards the sidewall. A nice bounce, trying to find a mid pass. Chef gonna be up, but not before Grambo. Long clear off the backboard. Matt has to make the read, and he does so very patiently, but a very solid read. J-Rod towards the backboard. A missed touch. Chef clearing that one out. Mealey gonna pop that one. Grambo a little awkward, trying to take control. Just pops that ball up for Chef. J-Rod's gonna be up there too. Mealey, last man back, has to control it. Mealey in the air can be so dangerous sometimes. Gets a nice air dribble over one, but Matt has to make the save. 40 seconds remaining. Still tied ball game 3-3. Gryphons have had a lot of pressure. J-Rod, the 50, not good enough. Mealey looking for the pinch, not going to come through. Chef, one touch, looking for a follow-up. That ball is going to be followed up right by Tricky. Mealey, though, sitting all the way back. A huge demo. That ball not on target. Grambo, he gets dunked, and Matt is everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like Mealey just trying to take a little bit too much possession, even though there was a player with a shotgun barrel down his throat in Minecraft. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. But he was basically staring down a demo in the face and then took it like a champ. He thought that he could just pop it around and not face any consequences. Tricky just absolutely demolishes him for his efforts, and such a great play there. And another great play is Matt is going to get the reset past that last defender. Bishops went up early, just got a little stressful in the latter half of the game. It seems like The Gryphons started to find their footing, but then Bishops come right back. They made some great plays in transition. They were finally able to break out, and it seems like Bishops just once again got on the front foot. But as I say, that might just be caster cursing everybody now, as Gryphons get a kickoff goal, putting them within 1 with 7 seconds left. Very doable if they can come back.
I've seen crazier things happen in this stream alone. Some 0-second heroics have already happened. Let's see if it can happen once again. The chef, though, not going to let it happen easily. That ball going to hit the ground. Bishops take game 2. And Gryphons, knock knock. You there? This one should be the wake-up call they needed, because the Bishops are here to play. The Gryphons, they outshot the Bishops, but it just did not matter, Ventus. And the Bishops just look so deadly whenever they're in the air and they have some time on the ball. They can just do nasty things in the air, and I feel like the mechanics are really shining through this series.
Yeah, and I think that the Bishops have kind of figured out their team comp. You kind of have the solo plays coming out from Matt and Chef, and then you have Tricky kind of just playing enabler. He's just getting a couple demos in the midfield, looking for the bump on the last man back if they find it in transition, kind of force Gryphons is such an awkward spot, and they're all doing their roles very well. You don't see anybody really messing up. We might see a potential timeout being called, because you do get a timeout in this kind of system, in this best of 7. It does not look like nope, they're not actually using it, which is kind of surprising. I thought that Gryphons would have used it after dropping 2 games. They're confident in their abilities. They got to step it up, though. They need to play more together. Keep seeing way too many double commits on their end, and it keeps causing them not to be able to convert on goal-saving chances, and it causes pandemonium on their back line on defense. So we saw once where it looked like Rambo saved the shot from Mealey in that last game as well. And you can't be making those kind of mistakes, and this might be a mistake. Here's another double commit, forcing it into the corner, and the Bishops just continue to add on the pressure. Another passing play comes out, and Tricky looking for that one, almost finds it, but man, the Bishops still on a tear. They're still playing very hot, very fast, and Gryphons are just trying to keep up.
Gryphons, though, have an opportunity here as Grambo puts a shot on. Tricky able to get the save. That ball bouncing back mid. J-Rod trying to keep that ball in the Bishop's half. Grambo now with some boost. Trying to get a good 50. J-Rod able to grab that 100 pad in the corner and get that ball cleared away. Tricky. A little awkward, tricky situation here, but it's going to be Matt clearing that one all the way downfield to the Gryphons corner. Grambo saying, all right, we can play some ping pong, sends that one the other way. Grambo looking for a follow-up shot. That one going to go high. No follow-up from the midfield, but Mealey might look for a pass to J-Rod right behind him, though, so now the counterattack could be on for Matt, and he can be so dangerous. Looking for the dunk. J-Rod gets it around him, but Tricky towards the side, or towards the corner. That corner double is beautiful. The chef is there to capitalize. Grambo just didn't see it coming.
Yeah, I mean, such a great touch there by Tricky. Grambo playing a little bit too close in the front post there. Maybe should have swung out a little bit wider, not expecting the touch to come out or to come through. And, I mean, the follow-ups there, Bishops are able to take another 1-goal lead. And, man, I am so excited. This could be the miracle we talked about. The Bishops look to just be outclassing Gryphons at the moment. I mean, they're playing so well, so fast, so clean, and a good bump in the midfield. A beat there, Tricky. It's an open net. He's going to put that one home. And another good play in transition. The demo coming out by Matt. I mean, he took a demo, but, like, he bumped Mealey off the ball. Tricky gets a solo play, gets the beat around him. The insta challenge comes through. A little bit of an early commit from third man. And, I mean, Bishops are just playing so clean, so well together. I mean, I talked about it being a tough matchup with the Gryphons being the 2 seed and that it might take a miracle, but it doesn't look like it needs a miracle anymore. The Bishops look like they got it in the bag, and, you know, maybe I'm trying to hope to caster curse them a little bit so my prediction's right, but, you know what? That's just how good the Bishops are playing.
This Bishops team has actually, I think, just been the better team all series long. Now, Gryphons, we know that they're capable, but they gotta prove it here in the playoffs where it matters most. J-Rod trying to get a pass over to Mealey. Mealey's touch, not great, but Grambo has the follow, and the 1-2-3 connection comes through. It wasn't clean, it wasn't pretty, a couple of backflips, but hey, It gets in the back of the net nonetheless here. Ventus cutting that lead in half here. Now the Gryphons able to get one on the board here. Is that the kind of formula that you're looking for if you're the Gryphons? Maybe some more passing, maybe some more backflips.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that they should try to replicate that formula, because it took a hard third commit from their last man back and playing really aggressive. It took a little bit of a missed touch and just being able to capitalize on the confusion from the defensive end. And so I'm hoping that the Gryphons are going to be able to score a little bit more of a clean goal, and that's just what I expected. J-Rod, a good beat there, getting kind of like a double tap off of that pass from Mealey. A good play. Mealey also gets the bump, it looks like, on that man on the backboard, and Chef. And that's what we want to see from Gryphons. Clean play, good pass off, good follow-up, fast from that second man, not needing the third man to commit, because Grambo was still there, ready for a follow-up if needed. But luckily, he wasn't needed this time.
Def with a nice pop up high, and the Gryphons now back in the defensive end where they hadn't been for a little bit. An insane angle there from Matt. Grambo was ready for the save, though. Tricky hits that ball at the backward. Mealey gets bumped, but Chef had to play the dunk. Chef bumps another as Matt tries to put that ball back in the midfield. That ball bouncing straight down. Was rolling right in front of the net. Tricky trying to get the awkward angle. Chef just has to get a touch here. J-Rod able to meet him in midfield. That ball bouncing off the backboard. Matt helping it along. Tricky with a nice touch towards the corner. That ball bouncing midfield, floating. Chef shot. It's on off the post. That one, a long shot from half field, but the Chef knows where to cook and knows where to put it.
Yeah, the missed touch there, popping out into the midfield from J-Rod, and then, I mean, just kind of confusion from this Gryphons defense. And once again, you see a bunch of awkward touches, a bunch of double commits, trying to just keep the ball out. They aren't playing clean on defense at all. We might see another goal. I thought Matt was going to absolutely get the pinch there. But yeah, the Gryphons just, their defense doesn't seem up to to what it needs to be, up to standard. You know, we see a lot of high defense plays, especially when we talk about like the Titan League. There are a bunch of games where we talked about high-powered offenses being completely shut down by really good defenses. Defense is the name of the game, and it looks like the Gryphons just might not have the kind of caliber defense needed to pursue a farther run into the playoffs, but it might not matter if they're going to be able to find amazing shots like that and put them on target. And, I mean, it's really anybody's game still. Gryphons are still only one goal down, but you got to imagine a reverse sweep from this situation is going to be very, very difficult.
Very difficult indeed. Chef, though, trying to make sure that the Bishops go up 3-0. This game long but over here. J-Rod with the 50, but Tricky wins that one out hard. A huge demo. That's an open net. The Chef, he doesn't want those. Those are too easy. Tricky, he wants to pass the ball to the other team. What is happening? The Bishops, a full collapse here, and it is now a tied game.
Yeah, and I mean, it looked like the follow-up was going to come through from Chef, but then Tricky gets the touch off the backboard, beating out his own teammate, leaving it in the midfield. J-Rod then isn't able to follow up the touch anyways, but Mealey's there to put that one in the back of the net. The game is now tied. I mean, absolutely crazy. I don't know who put Tricky on the payroll for that goal, but whoever bet the channel points has got to be put into question. Is, oh my gosh, Mealey's able to put it around that last defender and Tricky once again, and Gryphons go from down 1 with 30 seconds left to up 1 with just 13, and it looks like they might be able to just steal this game number 3 away from the Bishops.
Yeah, so what that means is somebody needs to check the script, because I don't think that was in there. And instead, it is Tricky, you know, maybe wanting this one back, maybe looking for the one to tie it back up. Matt trying to keep this ball alive. J-Rod gets demoed. That ball looking like it might fall. Tricky keeping it alive. That ball gonna hit the ceiling. He's looking for the pass, but he doesn't have the touch. Matt looking for the control. Gets it towards the sidewall. Gets bumped by J-Rod. Still on the sidewall, has some control. Bouncing mid, Chef! He didn't believe it was there, and the Gryphons win and steal game number 3, keeping them away from match point.
Oh my gosh, I saw Matt with time and space on the ball, getting the beat in the midfield, and I thought the Bishops were gonna tie this one, but Chef did not believe. You gotta hard commit sometimes as second man, and especially when there's 0 seconds left, down 1. You gotta throw yourselves trying to get an offensive try. But the Gryphons, like you said, stole this game. I think the Bishops looked like the better team. The Gryphons were just able to kind of squeak one out. I think that, maybe this is all according to the script. We wanted to see a little bit deeper of a playoff run. But man, the Gryphons got to thank their lucky stars. They got to use this now. Use the momentum you got. You kind of got gifted a game. Utilize that to propel yourself into this game number 4. You need to take this game number 4, as it looks like Tricky might be resetting or changing his car or something.
Something's going on, but Tricky's back. That's all that matters. Looking like it is a Gryphons masterclass. If they're able to kind of, if you're the Bishops, Ventus, after a loss like that, like the mental toll is huge. But like if you're the Gryphons, the adrenaline, the confidence that you get after a win like that is massive. And I feel like once this team plays with confidence and plays like, oh, my teammate's gonna win this challenge, oh, my teammate's gonna get a good touch, they know what each other are capable of, they can really start to click. Tricky though, not gonna make it easy. Grambo not gonna let them score that easily either. A huge answer there from Grambo, saving that shot. Already, Bishops off and running once again. This early offense is what we like to see. Chef puts that ball mid. Matt, last man, still able to make the touch. Not the shot, though, as Mealey's able to get that ball clear downfield. J-Rod not able to make the touch. Tricky in the corner. Able to get one. Able to get a follow. Couldn't get the beat on Grambo, though. So Matt in the air. Not a whole lot of boost. Trying to get the 50 on J-Rod. That's just a pass down to Grambo. And it gets put away. And that's what I mean. Grambo, why are we there? Because he thinks his teammate's getting that beat. And he is.
Yeah, I mean, just a good dunk there. Matt, just a little bit too out of a touch with low boost, allowing Gryphons' challenge to come through, getting a full beat. And, I mean, the Gryphons are going to be able to get the first score. It looked a little bit dangerous. Once again, we saw Bishops with a lot of pressure. We saw a triple commit come out from the side of Gryphons, and maybe a potential shot. A double commit comes out. Grimbo has to make the save, and he does, but all 3 members are 0 boost. The Bishops aren't able to confirm a goal on that time, though, and I mean, it seems like Gryphons, the defense, even though it's still really hit or miss, they have been able to cover in time. Even the double commits have not been too dangerous, as they've been able to get the clear out of the beat. And J-Rod, what a great play around one past the other, but off the post, not going to be able to find the back of the net. And man, the Gryphons look to be a little bit better in this game. We yet to see what comes down in crunch time on defense if the double commits seem to persist, but at least they're threatening a lot more on offense. They look a lot more dangerous, and that's a good sign for the Gryphons fans. But man, if I'm the Bishops, I'm a little bit scared. Bishops
do need some offense going. This is just like they've had the shots, but no real mechanical plays. They need to get in the air, cook up something. Chef, let's see what you got. He got one reset. Can you give me another? No, but the shot's gonna come through. J-Rod almost gets stung by Tricky. Matt, can you put it away? The angle would have been disgusting if he did. Tricky though, trying to get it, force his way through. J-Rod still winning that 50 on 0 boost is huge. Grambo's gonna be up and he's gonna be beat out by Chef. Mealey though in the right spot, getting a long clear. Tricky though sending that ball back to Chef high. J-Rod gets the touch. Matt now on the ball. It's that one towards the back wall. Gets the 50. That ball bouncing down. Chef gets beat out by Mealey. And Mealey, I feel like he's in the right spot 9 times out of 10. And it's just the perfect spot. And he is now in the midfield for the pass from J-Rod. Does get blocked. Mealey looking for the one more touch. Not going to come through. Grambo, though, it does have that ball. Looking for the pass mid. J-Rod elects to not go for it as he saw Matt had that cleared. Chef, not a whole lot of boost. Still able to get the touch. Able to get the clear. Now, can this Bishops team put up the goals, put up the stats? Because right now, they're kind of stuck on their own end, and I feel like Gryphons have kind of found an answer to what the Bishops were dishing out. Maybe not Chef. The shot just not good enough. As J-Rod on 0 boost, still able to make the save. Mealey looking for the clear downfield. That one gonna hit off the backboard. Grambo shot also gonna hit off the backboard. J-Rod commits. The save comes through. Chef now, one touch towards the midfield. Tricky, long clear. Mealey, no boost. Can he get there? He can't. Tricky puts it away. Huge capitalization there from Tricky. And a counterattack like that ties up this game.
Yeah, and it looks like Mealey misses one pad there on defense, makes it so he's not able to get there in time, misses the crucial touch on the back wall as last back, allowing Tricky to come through, get the equalizing goal, and I mean, that's what you want for the Bishops. They worked their way into getting that. They have, I believe, 11 shots to 3 at this point in time. They've been on offense the majority of the game, just hadn't been able to break through, and finally they were able to, and it was against the Gryphons defense in transition, the only one man back, but a shot off post, not going to find that one on target as J-Rod trying to cut out again, but the Gryphons haven't found much offense to look forward to, but as I say that, at an own goal, maybe a little bit of a bump coming through, J-Rod a good bump there, would have been a goal either way. I think Mealey was going to score that one, but a much needed goal for Gryphons is they haven't been able to get much offense going, but they've been able to still keep the lead even with them playing defense for basically, 80% of this game.
Yeah, but that was just a huge play by J-Rod. Zero boost, gets the wave dash into the catch, into the flick, off of the corner. And just a really solid play there from J-Rod. Now Tricky trying to cook up something himself. Has a teammate. Matt's going to be there, but Mealey is there with the save. Call him Superman. And now Mealey looks to do it once more. The pass not going to come through. Gets saved. Matt on the other side gets 50 by Grambo. That ball bouncing in mid. Chef gets pre-jumped by J-Rod. Mealey was on the backboard. Tricky. That one gonna be tough for Mealey, but he has the answer. The long clear. J-Rod's up in the air. Chef now trying to take his time. Trying to get past Grambo, the first challenger. He does, and Mealey with the fake chow back towards the back wall in the air himself, wasted more time. D-Matt towards the sidewall, looking for the double, beats out his own teammate, but also beats out J-Rod. Grambo, not a lot of boost to work with, gets 50 by Chef. Mealey up in the air with J-Rod. That ball up in the air. Is anybody back? Tricky is. Pops that ball up high. Grambo, no, it's J-Rod. Clear that one downfield. Hits the ground. Gryphons win game 4. They have arrived.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a pretty series, or a pretty game number 4 there. Gryphons were able to pull out another close victory, kind of playing on the back foot for a majority of the game. But man, just being able to take the game is a big win for them. Continues their momentum, even though Bishops, I think, still looked like the better team in this game. They were basically shut down. I feel like the defense from the Gryphons cleaned up a lot. We saw a lot less double commits, especially as we got to the later part of that game. And man, the Gryphons, the defense looks a lot more solid, looks dangerous. Now their offense is starting to come into play a little bit more, and I'm a little worried for the Bishops. I'm hoping my prediction will still be, well, I won't have the game record correct, but my prediction is that the Gryphons are going to figure it out. They started out slow. I think they're going to continue to ramp it up from here, though. The Bishops need to be able to shut them down. They need to stop them this game. I don't think if Gryphons continue to, get momentum and take another game, go up to match point, I don't know if the Bishops are going to be able to come back.
Bishops, they seem to have almost lost the fire that was, getting them through games 1 and 2 and let them win those, and honestly should have won game 3, and it just felt like after that game 3 throw, I don't know how else to say it, that should have been their game, and after that it just feels like it hasn't been the same. However, a triple commit on the side of Gryphons, and J-Rod somehow demos there. Somebody that make sense. I don't know. Mealey doesn't care, though. He's dunking Tricky. Tricky demoed as well. J-Rod going to look for the dunk, and he gets it. A huge 50. Matt just trying to get that ball clear. And Grambo already respawned and getting that ball sent back towards the Bishop's half. Chef, not a great touch. Grambo going to be there, capitalizing on that one. And it is a goal for Gryphons and Ventus. This is kind of what you're talking about. I feel like Bishops, this Gryphons team, they're ramped up, and they're here to play.
Yeah, and you can see the mistouch coming through from the Bishops. Not what you want to see. It leaves the ball in the midfield. No follow-up's going to be able to be had for the Bishops. And, they seem to be slowing down a little bit. They seem to be getting beat by this Gryphon squad more and more often. And the mechanics aren't bailing them out this time. We've seen great solo plays from Matt and Chef to kind of get some beats to relieve some pressure. Some demos from Tricky. We haven't seen many of those. It seems like Bishops have lost their way, have lost the reasoning why they won the first 2 games and almost won game 3. But this Gryphons roster seems to be ready and prepared for the Game 7. I think that if this was a best of 5, Bishops would be able to hold on and somehow be able to steal this game. But I don't think with how the best of 7 format is, I think the Gryphons are, even though they started out slow, have proven that they are the 2 seed for a reason, can prove they are the better team by winning the rest of the series. And I think Bishops might have just run out of gas.
We'll have to see. Gryphons on the defensive end right now. J-Rod diving across, making that save as that ball gets cleared away by Grambo. Chef from Narnia is up with the corner read, leaves it for Matt. Matt did not have the read himself, and Tricky gets beat down the top right corner. Oh, bang! Hits the post. Grambo wants that one back. J-Rod looking for the touch there. Matt hits that one off the sidewall. Looking for the follow-up. Mealey gonna get beat out there. Grambo now with the clear. Matt had that one red. J-Rod has the save. Tricky now maybe looking for a pass across. No, it's going to be met by Mealey. And it is saved away and cleared away once again. The Gryphons defense seems to have shored up at least enough. That shot there from Matt was a good one around 1. The second man in net had that save, though, halfway through this game. Matt with 1 touch. Looking for the 50. Has Chef across. Looking for a follow, but J-Rod, patience and just relying on the Bishops' mechanical mistakes, which were so few and far between, it felt like, in games 1 and 2. But now, I think the Gryphons are, making smarter decisions with their challenges in the midfield. But also, I think their defense is a lot better, and I feel like they're forcing a lot of these mistakes, Ventus. But at the same time, I just look at it and I think, man, I feel like you can take control of this ball right here. And I feel like Chef probably would have gotten a flip reset in games 1 and 2. Instead, he just gets a 50 to the ground, and J-Rod gets control. J-Rod maybe gets a dunk as well. The shot coming through, not going to get scored by Mealey. But the Bishops, you see what I'm saying? It just feels like they're not doing nearly as much as what they were in games 1 and 2.
So what I'm hearing is that the Bishops in games 1 and 2 are peaking, and they've kind of fallen back down to earth a little bit now, as we saw some way crazy plays coming out from them. We haven't seen the fire that has been there in the earlier games. We've seen a lot more mistakes, and Gryphons have been there to capitalize. I think that they're starting to ramp up a bunch more offense. They're getting a lot of cuts in the midfield, keeping pressure from mounting, putting up good forces in the midfield as well as another good flick. This is awkward though. Last man back from Mealey. Mealey awkward shot off target. The follow-up not going to be there as Mealey makes another save. A follow-up shot trying to come out. Tricky might have overcommitted just a little bit, but he's able to get the boost and slow down the play in the corner. And man, I thought I was about to eat my words. The Bishops came out with some great shots, but the Gryphons defense has stepped it up. I feel like we talked about how it's a little lackluster in the beginning as well, and now it seems like they are just locked down, shut out defense. Do not let anything of the Bishops through. They've had great shots anyways, but the Gryphons have had great cuts in the midfield. They've had great rotations. They haven't double committed as much. They've cleaned up their playstyle a lot. I think that's kind of the difference as well. I don't think it's just been on the Bishops not having as many mechanical plays. I think the Gryphons defense has just gotten that much better.
The Gryphons, they have stepped up huge, but a demo might just save the game. The crossbar saves it this time. Chef doesn't get the shot, and the clear comes through. The crossbar rings true once again. Ventus, and in game 5, Gryphons look primed to take it. This ball just needs to fall. J-Rod will make it happen, and the Bishops, they were begging for one, and the crossbar denies it once again.
Yeah, man. I even the follow-up from Chef, you talked about the mistakes and mechanics, and Chef had a prime opportunity to take a shot there, and he just missed the ball. I think that was a big moment for the Bishops to kind of make their stand again. The Bishops are going to be calling their time out. So hopefully they'll be able to kind of reset themselves. It might be too little too late. I kind of use that the 2-game mark. As soon as your opponent hits 2 games, you take the timeout anyways. But they've allowed Gryphons to take all the way to game number 3. They are now sitting at match point after taking the first 2 games from the Bishops. They have now lost the last 3 straight, and it seems like it's gotten more and more outhand for them every single time. It was a necessary call of timeout. I think it maybe have been a little bit too late. because you don't want Gryphons to get this momentum. They've already now won 3 in a row. They looked poised to get 4 in a row. They're playing so much cleaner. You want to take advantage while they're still discombobulated, when they're still starting out a little slow. And I feel like the Bishops are kind of at the end of the rope.
End of their rope. I feel like they have exhausted everything. And I feel like we haven't talked about it enough. Like, this is a veteran squad. And by veteran, I mean this is a bunch of old people on this Gryphons roster. Mealey's not that old. But J-Rod and Grandpa, oh man, Ventus, we're pushing certain ages. I can't say, but like, man, that is an old squad, but they're experienced. They're adaptable. They know, they've seen it all. These youngsters that with all their mechanics and their flip resets. Oh well, how about you take a good 50? How about you take some speed, some just. I'll beat you to the ball. I'll just win a 50. I'll just shoot the ball better than you. Like, that's the kind of gameplay I'm getting out of these Gryphons. And they're playing, it's just so good to see once they're finally playing together. And I know that this team is very capable. And I know that they're finally showing it. But this Bishops team has surprised me. They had been playing really solid. And I really do think that if they get everything clicking once again after this timeout, they can win this next game and even the series. But I have too much faith in this Gryphons team. I think they're going to take it in this one on Forbidden Temple here, Ventus. Maybe starting us off with a kickoff goal, but the experienced J-Rod going for the bump right there, not letting it come through. And Ventus, Mealey showing the youngsters what's up. Oh, the shot's just wide. J-Rod, the shot goes wide again. The post rings true. This time it's for the Gryphons are the reciprocators of that. Maybe I'm bad at English. I don't know, but these guys definitely want those post shots back. And now Bishops, they gotta capitalize. A huge save there. But man, already Ventus, Forbidden Temple, crazy things happen. And right now, it looks like the Gryphons and the Bishops are making sure crazy things happen as that one goes in the back of the net.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw some great plays from Gryphons, a couple crossbar misses, and then it turns into an all-out onslaught on the Gryphons net. Crazy plays. I mean, they forced a triple commit there out of the Gryphons, continuously getting their boost gauge down to 0. They're able to get a couple beats, and the shot from Chef was the one to seal the deal. But this might be a tying. Oh my god, what the save there by Chef. I think he just pogoed off the ground back into the 50 on the follow-up touch there from the Gryphons, able to make that save. Absolutely critical. I thought that was going to be a goal there from the Gryphons to tie it up, but it was not. And this one is, though, I don't exactly know how it happened. It looks like a pinch goal, bar in from a pinch from J-Rod, and Mealey are going to put that one in the back of the net. Absolutely crazy team pinch, and Gryphons still are able to tie it up now, but this time we got 4 minutes remaining.
I'm not going to lie, that one a little lucky. I'm not saying, Rocket League is a game of luck, not skill. And we'll see if that luck continues through here. Is a great win there. Grambo, oh my goodness, Grambo, he doesn't put it away! He was literally inches away from an insane goal there. Instead, Matt sends that ball long. Mealey has to get the read. That one's back to the corner. Mealey with 0 boost. J-Rod not able to get a touch. He doesn't have it. Grambo doesn't have that ball either. Chef now with some boost. A flick. That one's going to go just high. Mealey with the clear. Grambo, you haven't opened that part 2. But there's a man chasing you. It's Chef. J-Rod just has to put that ball up high. Not going to get followed up, though. That ball 50'd out by Chef. Cleared long. Mealey with 1 touch. Looking for a follow-up. Able to send that one up the sidewall. Not able to get the touch up the ceiling. Hits that ball straight back down. Matt gets 50'd out by Mealey. Mealey just kind of being everywhere right now. Grambo trying to get the collection, but that ball is going to get pinched. Mealey gets the beat on one. That one towards the backboard. Tricky, do you have the save? It was a tricky one, but he does have that one red. Chef now with a huge 50. That one was on target. J-Rod able to rotate back in time for it. Tricky with a nice 50 win. Mealey with some boost and able to get that ball cleared all the way down to the other side. J-Rod with the bump, but it's still Bishops looking to get this ball cleared. Tricky with 1 touch, looking for a teammate, but it's just going to be Grambo finding that pass. Grambo now looking to capitalize this time. No, Tricky sends that one away. Tricky with a huge dunk there. Grambo now maybe looking to control it. Look against Demo. J-Rod 0 boost. Huge 50 there out of J-Rod. Chef trying to play that one off the sidewall. Dangerous touch. Grambo doesn't get it before Matt is able to 50 him. And a huge double there from J-Rod. And Tricky gets that ball cleared. Grambo grabbed 100 boost. Mealey says, I'll take the ball. Don't worry about it. Oh, a huge demo. Matt could look for an opportunity. He went for the demo, I believe. J-Rod went for the ball. Mealey on the backboard. A little awkward. Gonna leave that one for Granville. Granville gets a nice high touch. Not the boost to get back to it. Matt looking for the 50 on Mealey. He gets it. One more touch will be huge. Doesn't get the follow down, or the follow through, but Chef able to get the beat. Still, it's only tied 1-1. There's still 2 minutes remaining in this one, and it feels like the Bishops are primed, but it might just be Granbo here. J-Rod put it away. The dunk comes through, and Gryphons is on top with a 2-1 lead here. 0 boost. J-Rod just doesn't care.
Yeah, a good follow-up, complete trust in his teammate, either to get the fake or the bomb or the skim redirect, and Chef having to play all those options, has to kind of wait, not going to be able to find the touch, but he might be able to follow up the kickoff, but J-Rod open now, all he's got to do is put this one on target, but he does not have the ability to get around that one, and the kickoff still going to be in favor of the Gryphons as they were able to get a lot of the mid-boost, but Gryphons have been the team to beat now. They've been in control for most of the game. It seems like they've had great challenges. They've had great pressure, a great pass as well, potentially in the midfield. And Gryphons, the shot total is still favoring them, but this is when we've seen great solo plays as Matt tries to get one out. And, I mean, the Gryphons still look to hold on. If they can hold on for 1 more minute, it's game over. But Tricky has an open net potentially. J-Rod, what a touch, though. Able to get back in time. It might have been the double touch there from Matt that slowed the ball down, allowing him to get back. Maybe the mechanic's coming a little too strong. But the Gryphons, they just got to hold on. If they can hold on, they win the series. They go to the next round, and even though it wasn't the cleanest from them, they still advance, and Bishop's obviously trying to play spoiler. They got to play upset. They still need offense to go, as this one looking for a shot, but gonna be cleared away once again.
And that ball now cleared away. 30 seconds remaining. J-Rod, the dagger! Not going to go through. Matt with a huge save. Mealey, last man back, and he has been last man, and he is so comfortable in that spot as he's able to get that ball cleared. But Tricky now has an opportunity. Oh, that ball bouncing straight down. Matt, you have to read! Not before J-Rod does. A huge touch there. Matt now looking for a pass. Back out to Tricky. Rambo had that thing read like a book he read back in high school. That one now going to be passed over to Mealey towards the backboard. A huge touch there from Matt. Matt, can you keep it alive? That ball bouncing mid. Tricky sending that one long. Mealey's up in the air. Same with Matt. That ball bouncing down. Tricky got to keep it alive. It bounces. J-Rod keeps it in the air. Tricky shot. Not going to be there. Granbo sends it towards the sidewall. Matt, that ball is going to be pitching down. And J-Rod puts it to the ground. Gryphons, huge turnaround. Going down 0-2 in the series did not phase them. They woke up and they won 4 straight. Huge win here for the Gryphons. They're moving on to the semis.
Yeah, and man, the Bishops did impress me this entire series. I talked about how I thought the Gryphons were going to win it pretty handedly, but every single game, the Bishops made them work for it. Gryphons had to steal a game in game number 3. They had to win many, many close games there to take the victory, and I mean, hats off to the Bishops. I thought they played phenomenally. I just think they ran out of gas a little bit. They weren't able to seal the deal. They let the Gryphons back into the series, and I mean, once they let one foot in the door, the Gryphons just slammed it wide open. They were able to force their way into many great scoring opportunities. They cleaned their defense up. I'd still want the Gryphons to shine a little bit more. I thought they played a little bit lackluster from what I know they can play, but they were able to get the victory when it mattered. And I mean, I guess they advanced. That's all I can really say about that. They played well enough to get the win.
Yeah, and you know what? That is all that matters. All that matters is advancing, and we got to advance on to our next series of the night, our last series. We're going back to the Titan League here. I believe it's Spartans versus the Phoenix for this one, Ventus. It's going to be a great matchup, and we got to go right to it. These games, I mean, they've been long, but they've been bangers, and so we cannot complain about that. But stick around, guys. We'll be right back after a short break, and we're going back to the Titan League for the best Nemesis Gaming League action. We'll see you guys then. Deuces.